As you would have noticed by now, there's a whole bunch of Trumpian techniques that are coming through in a lot of these local body candidates and how they've been running their campaigns and presenting themselves to the public. Having a look through a lot of their social media, there's a number of elements that pop up that mirror almost directly what we saw from Donald Trump, particularly in his re-election campaign and loss in the United States. There's a setup to call all news media that doesn't agree with what they say fake. And there's examples out there of candidates who have just handed in forms and had that printed verbatim saying, well, look, finally, journalists with integrity. When literally, that's not journalism, that's them just filling out a form and saying what they want to say unchecked. There's going to be a setup saying the election was stolen from them. The number of people who didn't vote because of issues with the postal ballots, for example, or not being able to get into their local council because of some issue or another. There's going to be excuses thrown around as to why people couldn't vote, and that's somehow going to be blamed on some big conspiracy trying to stop people from voting for them. The other thing that's going to be tried and probably fail, as I mentioned before, is demanding recounts, because that only happens if there's a really, really slim number in the difference of votes. Chances are not very high that that's going to be an issue for a large number of candidates. However, low voter turnout does make it easier for people to get on. And low voter turnout does make it easier to turn around and say, lots of people didn't vote, who knows what the outcome would have been, this election's invalid and I don't trust it. You're going to see a few of these, and most of them are hot air and rhetoric from people who are understandably disappointed that they didn't get in. But there is worse repercussions that you should be concerned about. This is setting us up for the next general election. Plain and simple. There will be a number of candidates running under either a unified umbrella party of some sort or for various other smaller parties. God willing they split the vote and nobody gets in. But last election, they didn't even break the 2% threshold of votes cast around the entire country. This year, they don't have things like mandates to make people angry and upset. They've essentially lost all the wind in their sails, and as long as people are aware of the fact that they're literally complaining and bitching about nothing these days, there's a possibility that it's not going to be an issue, but there's always a concern that there will be. But yeah, essentially wait for the day after elections, check their Facebook pages and see how much of a meltdown they have, because it's going to be epic.